Greetings and welcome to ValueU. I'm Zaladrith and I'll be your instructor for today. Today's class is Mechanics 122, Peeking Technique.
One enemy remaining.
The least committal peek is shoulder peeking. You get no visual information, but by showing a bit of your body for a split second, you have a chance at baiting out enemy shots for indirect information. Its primary purpose is to bait out op shots or condition enemies for a mix-up such as a wide swing. Shoulder peeking is often done with knife to minimize the amount of time you're vulnerable since you won't threaten enemies anyway. An enemy with good reflexes and mentally prepared for a shoulder peek might still pre-fire you or wallbang you out of a retreat. The most common forms of shoulder peeking are fast jiggling in the corner, which keeps it silent, or jump peeking, which usually makes noise. Jump peeking, also known as jump spotting, is also very non-committal, giving you visual on enemies but not letting you really aggress at all. Its primary purpose is just to gather visual information on enemy positions without using util and at minimal risk, but at the expense of making noise. You may still be able to fire shotgun-like weapons or a classic right-click, or use an ability like Molly in the brief window that you're exposed though. There are several different techniques to jump peek, some that keep your aim more stable and others that move your character model more. It's also possible to use a combination of silent takeoffs and landing on higher ground in order to make your jump peeking silent in certain locations. In-place silent jumping through low ceilings or crouch jumping is sometimes grouped into the same low committal info gathering category. Jiggle peeking lets you get information silently and is usually performed with your gun out, so you can threaten firing a dead zone shot on the retreat. The hallmark of a jiggle peek is that you commit to strafing out even before you start to process any information from the peek itself. Its primary purpose is to gather information without giving away any sound cues, and to still threaten enemies without putting yourself in that much risk. You can also pre-fire enemies by jiggle peeking if you have prior information on their location, such as from an earlier jump peek or util scan. Jiggle peeking is often used in techniques like slicing the pie. A variation to jiggle peek faster but removing your threat is sometimes called knife peeking. Our first committal peek is close peeking, where you step out close to cover with the intention of reacting to enemies you see and finding them. An enemy holding your angle will likely be able to react to you first due to crosshair placement, so close peeking is usually used when you still have defender's advantage. Its primary purpose is to isolate fights against an enemy without overswinging, often when you already know their position. Close peeking is still only barely committal though, because you can take just one step to return to cover if you want to bail out of the skirmish, whether you get the kill or not. A rare, more committal variation of the close peek involves immediately crouching while peeking in an attempt to break crosshair placement. Close peeks are usually performed while silent fast peeking to minimize angle disadvantage and prevent sound cues when the distance is short enough to do so. However, if you have angle advantage, then slow peeking by walking, or more rarely crouching, will extend that advantage while remaining silent and relatively mobile. Wide peeking is much more committal. Its primary purpose is to initiate a fight to the death. Often more effective against newer players, wide peeking allows you to remain mobile while you react to your target's position and start to aim. More experienced players often hold wide enough to intercept a wide peek, knowing that flicking to a stationary close peek is much easier than the opposite. One of the most important advantages of wide peeking is giving teammates room to swing with you, without risking getting collided, something that jiggling and close peeking don't really allow. Wide peeking usually puts you so far from cover that it's not usually reasonable to expect to make it back to cover before the skirmish is over. An extra wide swing is a changeup that can sometimes catch people off guard, and is referred to as a pop and swing. Another variation is jumping out wide, which is sometimes done with the operator to make it harder for enemies to land a headshot on you, while leaving ample time to aim before landing. Jumping out like this is also effective with a shotgun or classic right click instead of threat during the jump itself. Jumping out wide also serves as a distraction to consume the enemy's attention while your teammates clean up the kill. In summary, some common peeking techniques from least committal to most committal are shoulder peeking, jump peeking, jiggle peeking, close peeking, and wide peeking, each with a different primary purpose. These techniques have trade-offs for how committal they are, how much sound they make, and how much you threaten while doing so. Slow peeking is better for maximizing angle advantage, whereas fast peeking is better for minimizing angle disadvantage. And there are many variations on these techniques that can be more effective with teammates, increase evasiveness, break crosshair placement, or simply serve as a mix-up. That's all for today's lesson. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to the lecturer or the TAs in the comments below. Thanks for attending, and we hope you enjoy your stay here at ValueU.